Welcome back to Not So Radical. I'm your host, Peter, and today we're talking about creepy Uncle Joe and his, I guess you could say, pedophile-esque behavior. Or at least I would say. I mean, there's definitely some warning signs there. But this video here is basically a brief overview. It's a compilation of Joe Biden being creepy and inappropriate. I mean, the full 9 yards of the warning signs of pedophiles. But let's get into this video. So here he's basically, just sniffing, whispering something in her ear, I believe, just grabbing her shoulders. I'm just going to briefly go through this video. I'm not going to make you guys watch the whole thing, but feel free to look this video up and look for yourself. I mean, there's plenty of this stuff all over. You just got to look it up, find it. This girl obviously feels awkward and wants to get out of the situation, and she's like, what's going on? All right, don't try to kiss me. Why are you grabbing me? And this happens just plenty of times over. I mean, you could see it all in her face. She doesn't want to be there. I don't know what he's saying in her ear, but she doesn't want to be there. She feels uncomfortable. It's obvious. Right here, slowly slides his hand across that little girl's chest. She moves away because she feels uncomfortable. Like, why are you touching me like that? Get your hand off me. Another girl here, just combing her hair back, starts like touching her face. I mean, it's makes your skin crawl a bit. But yeah, to Democrats it's completely normal. Here, just combing this girl's hair, touching her shoulders. I mean, honestly, if I had kids, I would have let him near Joe Biden. He's way too touchy and he crosses that line plenty of times. And I would be concerned if I was any Democrat. I'd be concerned too. But he's not a Republican, so it's okay that they condone that kind of behavior. But if he was a Republican or even Donald Trump for that matter, they will rail him up and down about the inappropriateness, crossing the line. He's probably a pedophile, etc., etc. And most of these women, you can tell they feel genuinely uncomfortable. Always kissing little kids, always touching them, whispering in their ear, sniffing them. I mean, all this behavior is beyond concerning, and it's been going on for many years. And it's always just swept under the rug. He's a Democrat, so it's okay. I just want fair, equal accountability. No matter if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, Centralist, no matter what you are. Just fair accountability. Pulling him closer. Always putting his hands somewhat in appropriate areas. You know, most of these women, some try to laugh it off. And he always tries to pull the women in closer to him, and he's always chatty with the younger girls, and like I said, it makes your skin crawl. And some of the things he says, whispers. I mean, look at him just groping and just like almost petting her face. It's just if that was my kid, I'd pull my kid away immediately. Like, what are you doing? Don't touch my kid like that. Just inappropriate hand placement. It's almost on her chest. I mean, he wraps his arm around and no dating until you're 30. He's always telling them, "Oh, watch out! Oh, you gotta watch out for the boys around." Well, Joe, we're actually worried about you. But all this behavior is concerning, and it just gets swept under the rug. Like I said, always kissing little girls, always touching them, always sniffing them, pulling them in closer, sometimes saying inappropriate things. Petting this girl's face, touching her face, petting their heads. Blech. If it was anybody else, they'd be like, petting their face, kissing on the head multiple times. Like, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing? Petting their faces and stuff. And he always gets close and invades everybody's personal space. It's yikes. And this was the woman from the beginning, just grabbing her shoulders, goes in for a sniff, whispers something in her ear, ha ha ha, tries to laugh it off. I mean, what are you going to do when he's the vice president or the president? I mean, what are you going to say? Who's going to, you know what I mean? Who's going to take you seriously over the president or vice president, especially with the amount of stuff Joe Biden and Hunter Biden have gone away with? But his behavior is disgusting, is concerning, and just think about your child. If that was your child and he's groping her face, touching her, sniffing her, whispering stuff in her ear, touching her inappropriately, I mean, it speaks for itself. But all of this is leading up to the most recent event when Joe Biden decides to say this to a very young girl. Let me just show you. I'll show you the young girl first, but this is the young girl that Joe Biden is addressing in a speech. This is at in Virginia at a military base. He was giving a speech, but this young girl here, I mean, what is she? 7, maybe. I'm not totally positive, but incredibly young girl. And let's see what Joe Biden has to say about her.
Especially honored to share the stage with Brittany and Jordan and Nathan and Margaret Catherine. I love those barrettes in her hair, man. I tell you what, and look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady with her legs crossed. Brittany, you're doing triple duty.
Joe, you shouldn't be looking at little kids like that. Mentioning the little bows in her hair, and trying to say that she looks like she's 19, looks like a little 19-year-old lady with her legs crossed. Why you? It's creepy. It makes me sick. It makes me sick a bit. I mean, if anybody said that about my child, I would be concerned. Especially being Joe Biden and his long history of creepy behavior. It isn't just like he says one thing, a few years later he says one thing. It's an ongoing thing with Joe Biden and his creepiness and his inappropriate touching, his inappropriate sniffing, his inappropriate whispering. I mean, how is nobody else? How are people not majorly concerned on the left and the left? I don't understand it. I don't get it. And it's makes your skin crawl. I know I've said it a few times now, but I can't get past that. But that'll be it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think Creepy Joe is, do you think it's okay behavior? Do you not think it's okay behavior? I mean, would you let your kids near Uncle Joe? I sure as hell wouldn't if I had kids. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the video if you can. 2 videos ago, my video got suppressed for misleading information. But then after I rebutted and provided my sources and everything else and provided my information that was from the CDC, they finally put the video back up because it was not false information. But on that note, I hope you all have a good week and stay safe out there.